Disturbing study out of the UK finds the number of people seeking professional help for porn addiction has tripled since the start of the pandemic there. Pornography is now the second most common addiction that UK men seek therapy for, behind only alcohol. Leigh Richardson is with us from the Brain Performance Center in Dallas. And Leigh, a lot of people don't realize how big of a problem that pornography addiction is.
No, they don't. And addiction all over is a huge problem. But, the pandemic changed our lives. It changed our structure of our home. I think that we all experienced, to some degree, a loss of intimacy within our house, because what was our house turned into our school, our restaurant, our gym. Everything changed. And I think that's very frustrating. And I think, other statistics show there's been a huge rise in anxiety and depression. And I think it's all interrelated.
And it wasn't in these studies just men that were dealing with this. It's women as well dealing with the rise in addiction to pornography. What do you think that says? Is it along the same lines?
I think it is along the same lines. We're all needing that sense of connection. We're all needing to connect. And it's been very hard to do. I have clients that basically stopped dating during the pandemic. And then, now that it's more or less over, in my encouragement, my coaching, get back out there, they're kind of like, I've kind of forgotten how to do that. So I think it is all connected.
What are those first steps in dealing with an addiction? Like, where do you start if you look up and you're like, man, this is really taking over my life?
Well, if you look up and you've been in front of a computer screen for 2 or 3 hours, that tells you something. And what happens is the people don't even realize how long they're there. They get caught up in it, and all of a sudden, I haven't even put my kid to bed, or I haven't even had dinner. And I think that the first step is recognizing this is out of control. And putting some boundaries in place, that little boundaries that, I have no more than 30 minutes anytime on my computer, because the people I've worked with that suffer from that, they'll get on their computer to do their work. And then it doesn't take long before they get bored or something pops up on their screen. John, I am amazed at how easy it is to find pornography.
Oh, absolutely. And that kind of dovetails into how easy it is for our kids to find it as well.
Absolutely. And that's my big concern, is that it's going to trickle down. And when you think about, and this is a problem that I've worked with families on, when one person has that addiction and there are little kids in the house, the other partner just goes absolutely berserk because there's fear. There's fear of how that's going to influence the children.
That is Leigh Richardson from the Brain Performance Center in Dallas.